Welcome to the King's Theatre on Albert Road, Southsea. An architectural jewel of Portsmouth and a treasure trove of history, culture and mystery. Built in 1907 by the renowned theatre architect Frank Matcham, this Edwardian Baroque masterpiece has witnessed over a century of performances. However, not all who stepped into this theatre have left it. Among the King's Theatre, many stories lie a haunting tale of devotion, tragedy, and a ghost that continues to walk its stage. A stagehand who met his ends here decades ago. Today, as we explore the theatre together, you'll hear his story, feel the lingering presence of Portsmouth's theatrical past. As we walk, let the sounds of this theatre's history guide you. The imagined hum of the crowd, the echo of applause, and perhaps even the faint creaks of ropes in the fly-loft above the stage. Let's begin at the grand entrance. Start at the theatre's entrance on Albert Road. Look up and admire the intricate Edwardian Baroque design. Notice the sweeping arches and ornate plasterwork, a true hallmark of Matcham's work. Now, step inside through the grand doors and into the foyer. The King's Theatre opened its doors on September the 30th, 1907, with a production of The Mayor of Tokyo. Over the decades, it became a cultural hub for Portsmouth, showcasing operas, plays, and even wartime performances during World War II. The theatre survived bombings, periods of despair, and modernisation, but its soul has remained intact. The King's Theatre has always been more than bricks and mortar. It's stage for stories both seen and unseen. Some say the theatre has absorbed the emotions of everyone who's performed or worked here. One such spirit is believed to be a stagehand who tragically died during his work, forever a part of this theatre's history. Walk through the foyer into the auditorium, stop, and take in the sight of this magnificent space. Look at the towering balconies, the rich crimson seats, and the grand chandelier above. Imagine the anticipation of the audience before the curtain rises. The auditorium is the heart of the King's Theatre. It has hosted thousands of performances, from Shakespeare to pantomimes. During World War II, blackout curtains covered the windows, and performances were often interrupted by air raid sirens. Yet, the show always went on. The ghost of the stagehand is most often spotted here. Patrons and staff have reported fleeting shadows moving along balconies or a chill on their necks as they sit near the stage. Some say these occurrences happen during quiet rehearsals, as if the ghost prefers the stillness of preparation over the raw applause. As you look around, imagine the shadow of a figure gliding along the top balcony. What would it feel like to catch an unexplained movement out of the corner of your eye? They say, if you sit long enough in silence, you might just feel the ghost's presence. Now, move toward the stage, step onto the wooden boards, where countless performers have stood their voices, filing this space. Turn around and face the audience. Imagine their faces looking back at you. The energy of live performances coursing through the air. The stage is where magic happens, but it's also where hard work and danger go hand in hand. In the early 20th century, stagehands were responsible for managing heavy scenery, lighting rigs, and special effects, often at great heights and with little safety equipment. Their work was essential to every performance, but came with significant risks. One such stagehand was working in the fly loft above this stage when tragedy struck. He lost his footing while managing the ropes and pulleys and fell to his death. Some say it was an accident. Others suggest foul play. Whatever the cause, his spirit seems tied to this theatre. Performers and staff often report hearing footsteps backstage and feeling cold drafts or seeing unexplained movements in the wings. Stand here for a moment. Imagine the faint sound of boots echoing behind the curtain. Is it just the creak of old wood, or something more? Next, look up toward the fly loft. The towering space above the stage where ropes, pulleys and rigging systems are housed. Although you can't go up there and stand there, and picture the stagehands of the past climbing the narrow ladders and balancing on catwalks to manoeuvre the scenery. The fly loft is a dangerous but vital part of any theatre. In Edwardian times, it was a complex system of counterweights and ropes, requiring immense strength and precision from stagehands. One slip can mean disaster. Many believe the stagehand ghost still lingers in the fly loft. Staff reported hearing the creaks of ropes and the sound of footsteps above, even when no one is there. Some say he's still trying to do his job, forever dedicated to the theatre he has called home. Look up and imagine shadow or figure moving along the catwalks. Do you feel cold breathed? Perhaps he's watching over us now. Finally, let's head backstage to the dressing rooms. Walk carefully down the steps and into the narrow corridors lined with faded posters of past productions. These rooms, though unassuming, hold stories of their own. In these dressing rooms, actors prepared for their roles, transforming into characters under the bright bulbs that line the mirrors. But these spaces also have a more mysterious sides. Items are known to move on to their own, lights flicker without explanation, and whispers are sometimes heard when the rooms are empty. It's said that stagehand ghost often visits these dressing rooms, perhaps checking on performers before they go on stage. His presence is not malevolent. If anything, it feels like he's still a part of the team, ensuring the show goes on. As you make your way out, back up towards the exit, take one last look around the theatre. The stories we shared today are just glimpses into the rich history of the King's Theatre, a place where the past and present meet. The stagehand ghost is more than a legend. He's a reminder of the dedication and sacrifices made by those who work behind these scenes to keep and bring these theatres to life. As you leave, keep an ear out for whispers, a creak in the fly loft, or footsteps in the wings. Thank you for joining me on this journey and into the history and mystery of the King's Theatre. Welcome to the King's Theatre on Albert Road, Southsea. An architectural jewel of Portsmouth and a treasure trove of history, culture and mystery. Built in 1907 by the renowned theatre architect Frank Matcham. This Edwardian Baroque